everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Melody, a romance and YA author, and this is part 2 of my How to Write a Romance series. So last week I did a video about how to create your heroine, and this week I'm going to focus on how to create your hero. In this video I'm going to talk about how to do a character sketch, which I talked about in the previous video, and I've also talked about in another video, so I will link those down below. So what a character sketch is a list of questions that you ask yourself, and it helps you get to know who your character is. So I've actually got a list of these questions on my website, which I will link down below as well. So you can go back to that and check them out, copy the questions and answer them for your own characters, and I guarantee it will help you generate some ideas for your story and for your character. It's just a great way to come up with ideas if you're brainstorming for your story. So my character is Officer Chase Williams. He is a police officer. So I've kind of come up with his story, especially like his backstory and what he's all about. I wanted to create a hero who is a nice guy. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the heroes. Before I go into my character sketch, I'm going to talk a little bit about the different kinds of heroes that you can create. Everyone is sort of familiar with the alpha character. You know who the alpha character is. Sometimes the alpha character, he can be kind of a jerk, which I don't like. But, I mean, he's like a tough guy and, you know, he gets things done. Maybe he's the one in charge. So, I don't know, kind of, you know, he has some desirable qualities. So, I don't know, sometimes we like the alpha character, but I don't like the characters that are too much of a jerk. And then you have, like, your beta characters, which are, you know, like your nice guy, you know, kind of like, I don't know, maybe like the boy next door. The beta character, I don't know, you might want to say that he's kind of like the safe choice, or maybe he's like a nerdy guy, but he's kind of cute. You know, like there's like some definite differences. This is what I like. I actually like a combination of the alpha and the beta together. And so I don't know if this is a real thing, but I just like to call him the gamma hero. Instead of the alpha hero or the beta hero, I just call him the gamma hero because I like to take a little bit of both of them. I don't think he's going to be like one or the other. So the heroes that I like to make are, you know, really nice guys, but they're also like really tough too and can take care of things and are very protective and all that. So I have these list of questions here, and I've kind of gone through them, and it was really helping me get to know like what kind of guy, like what kind of hero he is. So if you're watching my video, I'm going to give you spoilers for my story, but I'm not going to spoil everything. He is one of those guys that really looks out for his family, and he's the oldest sibling. He's the one that's always been in charge of things. His backstory is this: he lost his father when he was 17 years old. His father was killed in a home invasion, which was very traumatic for the entire family. And so then since he was the oldest sibling, he kind of had, I guess, you know, be the man of the house, I guess. And so his mother, of course, was really depressed, and he needed to take care of her. His sister Amber, she just was really close to her father, so she was having a hard time. And then his little brother Justin, he kind of had to, you know, help take care of him. So this is like the backstory of where this guy comes from. And then his mother got cancer, so then he had to leave school and like help take care of her. So this guy, he's had a hard life, and he's really just trying to be there for his family, but his family's like, is just falling apart now, because now his sister is a drug addict, and she had a baby, and she has lost custody of this baby because she cannot take care of him because she's a drug addict. And his brother Justin, he's always just like, I mean, he's just always like needing help, you know, and things like that. And now his mother has got cancer again. So now it's like Chase's mother is taking care of his nephew, who is now, I said he was a baby. He's not a baby anymore. He's now 8 years old, or is he 7? He's in 2nd grade. He's 7. He's 7, about to turn 8. Okay. So Chase, he is the uncle of Dylan, and his mother takes care of him. She's his legal guardian, but Chase helps out, and Justin kind of helps out too, but Justin's kind of irresponsible, and he's always needing help with something. And so Chase, he's the oldest brother, and he's just constantly taking care of his family, and now his mother gets cancer again, and so he's got a lot on his plate. And of course, in addition, he is a police officer, so he's got a busy schedule. So I don't know like when this guy is ever going to date, because he's just so busy with family commitments and his job. And so this is what I decided to do. I decided, well, how about his love interest be his neighbor? And that way, he'll see her quite frequently. It's not like he's, going out on all these different dates, or going out to the bar like all the time, like looking for someone. It's his neighbor. Very easy for him to get to know his neighbor. I really think that Chase really does like want to be like a family guy, but like I say, because of all of his family commitments and, things that he's got to deal with, he just hasn't had time to deal with, he just hasn't had time to find love. So I talked about his siblings. Now his best friend is his brother, Justin. And I guess I'm going to give him a partner too at work. Maybe they'll hang out as well. His life goals, I kind of already said this. He wants to find a girl to settle in and have a family, but right now he's busy with his family. He's having to help with his nephew a lot because, now his mom has got cancer again, and now he's got to help, out with Dylan and things like that. He is afraid. His biggest fear is that his mother is not going to make it, and that his sister, who is the drug addict, he's afraid that she's not going to get help. He wants her to go to rehab, and that's going to be a challenge throughout the story. His favorite childhood memory would be he and his family at their river house before his dad died, because he's going to have some really nice memories of being at this house on the river and being on the boat and things like that. And that was a really special and fun time in his life, and then it all ended. So that was his worst memory. Okay, so his worst habit. Chase's worst habit, he is terrible at parking cars. And this annoys Rachel because he has like his patrol car, and he's terrible at parking, and like he parks and he takes up like 2 spaces. He's like over the line, and he doesn't realize he's over the line, and he's tired. He's coming off shift. He doesn't realize how terrible of a job that he has parked. And Rachel like gets so mad when she gets home, and he sees this patrol car is taking up 2 spaces, and he's a police officer. Like the rules, I guess, don't apply to him, is what she thinks. Okay, so that's one of his worst habits. Another one of his worst habits, he does play his music a little too loud, and that really, really annoys Rachel. But I mean, it's also an apartment that they're living in, and the apartments have very thin walls, so part of that he can't really help, but that's gonna annoy her. But see, that's actually a good thing, because see, that'll bring them together. She will go up to his apartment, and she's going to complain to him, so that's how they meet. Some of these other questions, like his greatest strength. His biggest strength is he's very protective. I mean, obviously he's a police officer, he's protective. He's very protective of the people that he loves. His weakness, I would say is that he worries about his sister, and sometimes he gives her money when he knows he shouldn't, because his sister's going to go out and buy drugs with him, even though she always says that she's not buying drugs. Of course, she's going to go out and buy drugs. So anyway, making these character sketches is really just a great way to get to know your character. He is very different from Rachel's ex. He's a police officer. He's a nice police officer. He's very protective. He's a family guy. He wants to have a family of his own, but he just doesn't have time because he's busy putting out all the fires, so to speak. But I'm really excited about writing this story. This is going to be the first story in my Turtle Creek series. I started writing this series a couple of years ago. The series, actually, the first story that I wrote was the Matt and Sarah story. But then the character Rachel that made an appearance in that story, I realized she needed a story of her own. And then I happened to write another romance story, and I thought, hey, this will be a great addition to that Turtle Creek series. And I actually had Chase in that story. He's a police officer who works with the detective and the hero in the other story. But I really just needed Chase to have his own story too. So what I decided to do was just put Rachel and Chase together, and this is actually going to be story 1. So I've already written story 3 and story 2, and so this is actually the third story I'm writing, but it's really going to be the first story in the series. And I've decided going forward, I'm not going to make this mistake again. And what I'm going to do is if there's any characters that may potentially have their own story, I'm going to make sure I set things up like before I start writing, so I can go ahead and plan the whole series before I start writing. Because I don't want to have to like keep going back and thinking, oh wait, this should actually be story 1 or this should be story 2, you know. Although I think what I am going to do is, there was a character in book 2 of the Turtle Creek series, and I think maybe I will go back and write their story, but I'm gonna make it like a 1.5. Maybe it'll be a novella. I don't know. I haven't planned out that far yet, but anyway, we'll see. So anyway, that's my character sketch for my hero. And like I say, if you want to check out these questions, there's more questions. I didn't read out all of them because that would be kind of boring. But if you want to check out those questions again, I will link down below. You can check out those character sketches and get to know your own hero. Don't make him a jerk. If I could give you like one tip, like do not make your hero a jerk, because I've read some books before where it's like the hero, he's mean. I have read romance novels, probably something written in like the 1980s, and like they'll have like the hero, he'll get like so mad and like he'll just grab the woman and he'll like shake her and he's just all rough with her. And like that is not romantic, and like I wouldn't want to date a guy like that. Like, so don't make your hero a jerk. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. If you found this video helpful, please do subscribe. I try to come out with videos about writing every week. And next week, I am going to do the outlining video, which I'm really excited about. It's going to be how to outline a romance novel. So if you like to watch that video, make sure you subscribe and tune in. All right, I'll see y'all later. Bye.